Hey there. Yeah, you.
Sitting over there in the corner, staring at your kook.
Does COVID got
Besides,
you down?
everything's got me down.
Well, why don't you just step on in, plug in, and take a seat? Because we're about to give you.
Some ass kicking fun! Sorry about that. I get a little excited.
I meant for that to sound more exciting, but you get the
It's
gist.
it's podcast day, and we love podcast day, and we get to record today with no kids and no
Yeah.
noise. And this is Ashley's. I want to make a big announcement. We got the audio stuff fixed. I'm
It is
so
100%
happy.
fixed now, guys.
Look at that. We're all in the same volume. Nobody's loud. And today and from here on out, Ashley's in the sound engineering chair now.
It's actually a lot of fun.
I moved over here to the right so we can look up stuff on the internet
He
when
can
we're
now
going along.
take the seat of a more comfortable spot, and
Yes.
I'll do the work.
See, that way I can stay busy doing this shit and I don't fuck with something over there and cut the podcast. Because I've been known to do that. I mean,
Oopsies.
sorry that I do that.
Only thing we gotta hope is that my two pussy-ass dogs aren't gonna start crying at the
Oh,
door.
God.
But I think Titty can't be trusted to be in here. He's chewing everything up.
That fuck, yeah, I know. We'll be like, "Arr."
Oh, yeah. I would kill. Not kill
Imagine
him,
right in the
but-
middle of a podcast. Yeah, we're sitting there and
So, anyways.
how y'all doing?
Few announcements. We, as you know, we're poor as shit, so.
Yeah, so I had to sew one of my kids.
No. But we finally did some new photography.
Did y'all like it?
I hope everybody loved it.
Y'all should
and
email us your answers.
If you're listening to this, my people from other countries, we made a Facebook page.
Yes,
We
yes.
would love if you would go follow it because I know a lot more people are on Facebook versus Instagram. We're already up to like almost 100 likes. And
Exactly.
We're only on day 2 of it being alive. So we really appreciate that. But
In
yeah, my
Australia,
people from
want to
other
give you a
countries.
shout out, you guys. Woo!
In Austria.
Oh,
You have
yes.
now join the club.
Yes.
The awesome, cool.
Oh, and
trashy
there's
club.
another one. God dang it. There's another
God
one now.
damn it,
There's
Steven.
another one up around that area, and I can't remember now. Well,
Got a lot of new
Poland,
stuff going.
Poland.
I've also got some stickers coming.
Yes.
That being said, we have a really good barbecue place here in town, Natty Flats Smokehouse.
Oh, it's very yummy. We
It is
love it.
so good. Went in there for lunch today, and somebody asked me about the podcast, and immediately started following. So I want to give her a shout out. Sarah at
Yeah.
Natty Flats, you got a sticker coming, babe. Thanks for the support.
Yeah.
Tell all your friends about the Trashy podcast.
Tell us about the trashy podcast
It's
we
like
got
trashy, but
over
fancier.
here. We talk like drunken Irishmen.
We really go through many different accents throughout the podcast.
You never know what I fucking mean. Yeah, bada bing, baby.
That's the only news I have, but we did work really hard on
Yes.
that, and I think the pictures turned out great.
And I got some other great news. I've been putting stuff on Patreon, but it's going to take me a while because I have to put all our audio stuff into an MP3 to stick it on the Patreon platform. So that's taking me a bit. So just
But
bear
we
with
are
me.
Video recording right now
Yes, and I'm going to try to get this on
Yeah.
Patreon
to
too.
put it on Patreon. So if some of you, especially the people that are out of state that don't know us or out of country, if you really want to,
Oh, God, yeah. Really get to know
it's
us.
one thing to see a picture, but to see our ugly mugs in a video,
It's great. We love you.
it
Maybe.
is recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It better be. If not, I'm going to. Oh, wait. It's not because you're looking down. I'm not going to fuck with it.
It's fine. We did a clip before we started.
Yeah, because I'm afraid to
that
hit.
counts as one.
I'm afraid to hit anything. I'm still trying to work out the tweaks and the meeks. So,
Yeah, but in general, starting out being
God
knowing
dang,
nothing,
I know.
I'm pretty proud of us.
It's man, you should have seen me Friday night when I got that email on how to fix all my audio stuff. I was like, woo! I was running around the house like Ric Flair,
Which shout
strutting.
out to Transistor for
Oh
being
God,
so
yes.
responsive so quickly.
Oh God, I sent the email. I got off work Friday, and about 6 I sent it, and by 10 o'clock I had the answer, and it was so simple, and I was like,
yeah,
"You
and us technically
motherfucker, you!"
challenged folks really appreciate that.
And then I just started singing, "Why you wanna break my balls?" They got busted hard, but then I fixed them.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's taking us a bit, but hey, we're getting there. And I think on Podbean, I stuck episode or two on there. Oh, and iHeart, we're still getting good, decent listeners for iHeart, and that's even shocking. I didn't,
And I think today we're going to jump right into everything because we have a lot to talk about. But before we say that, we realize that today we're recording 12. So next episode will be episode 13. And, we're not just funny and we're not just about true crime, but we're also about paranormal shit.
Yeah.
He does a paranormal podcast with his daughter, Lexi. Ghost Stories Told from the South.
You're going to have to let them in.
Yeah, I know.
The fuck out of that door. Just go ahead.
And, hold on. So today we're going to finish up some more Mafia stuff. I don't know who he's going to cover next. I'm still going to go with it, but I am going to finish out the John Dillinger story today, and he's going to finish out Cowboy Mafia.
Muscles.
So 13 is still going to be an episode.
Sorry about that.
It's still going to be listed as episode 13, but it's going to be a special.
Yeah.
So not sure what we're going to do. Maybe we
Man,
might
that
cover
would
Ouija
be cool
boards,
if it's
maybe
Friday
we
the
might.
13th on a Friday.
I
Because
love
see, on
Friday
that
the 13th.
Patreon, we can get on there and do live like we can be like, hey, we're right now doing a live broadcast. Come join us.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, get that figured out. We can do live on our specials. Ooh, could
All
you
right,
imagine?
sweet.
Like we'll be actually going live. I just think it's awesome. Y'all really want to hear what we got to say because we're just.
I guess since we have a Facebook now, we could always do
Oh
a
yeah,
Facebook Live too.
and I'm glad y'all love them pictures on Facebook. They was very awesome.
You don't understand how fucking hot it was.
Oh my god.
And if you notice, like, he wore a heavy, very nice, like, suit top.
Yeah.
And I had a goddamn fur coat on. Like, we suffered for y'all.
Wow.
Still do.
And my depths
He just
off.
punched the mic because he's so fucking passionate.
Yeah, I'm so passionate. I was just, man.
He's like, this is for y'all.
My depths off. I was like, hey, yeah.
Well, to be fair.
Well, I had a cigarette too, you see.
All right.
Yeah.
Show what you got for me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The nose me there. Oh, God. Look at this guy.
Oh, yeah,
I
and-
just cheated on my wife.
Also, shout out to Joe Rogan because that's where Steven got the Google idea. So
Yeah. Was
now
it for
he's
Joe?
his one-man Google idea. So thanks.
Yeah.
You give us regular people a dream that we think may actually come true. Like, you look good, you're talented, you're up there, but you still give the rest of us hope. Like, you're still a cool, decent human.
Yeah,
being,
he's
you know what I
cool,
mean?
man. But yeah, it's like he just always says, plug away. But today we got some
We're going to go into...
some funny news.
Bam.
Well, there's a mother in Seattle. Man, oh, okay. I was like, my eyes went. A mother in Seattle warns her son to watch out for stupid people, watch out for idiots, and she backs into his fucking motorcycle.
Oh, I would be very upset.
Son,
suck.
watch out for the fucking idiots. Have a good day.
Bam. And motorcycle people are very serious.
And she
with
probably
their
didn't even
motorcycles.
notice she hit it. I bet you she hit it and drove off.
Probably. I don't think I've ever hit a vehicle, but one morning whenever I was late for work, I did take the trash can out hard as fuck. I was nice. I picked it back up, and thank God I don't think anybody else saw it.
Knocked the shit out of it.
It scared me, too. I hit it, and I didn't know what it was.
What if it had been a bump?
I was like,
What if it would have been a bump? Thanks for the ride, lady. Like
Thanks
on
for the
Creep
fuck
Show.
check, Dirty Mike and the boys.
Oh, God. Yeah, because that's your glory hole trash can.
Shut up.
Dude, I found
hate
the
you.
episode with that, and I put some great love music in when you're talking about that. It's called, well, be looking for this one. I don't know if I'm going to put it on Spotify or anything.
I
I
think
might
that we should
hold
put the
that
really
back,
dirty
and I'm going to
ones on
put that on
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Because it's talking about the trash incident, and I found some great, like, love music while you're talking about it. So, yeah, be
'Cause
looking
I feel
forward
like right
to that.
now we're a good mix where people who aren't even really like that vulgar like to listen.
Yeah.
So I think we should save the really dirty
Dirty
shit for
stuff.
Patreon.
Yes. That
That would
one's
be
good.
fun.
Y'all will love it. Alrighty.
Oh yeah, hold on, I gotta let the dog out
Hold on, wait a minute.
before they have a fucking conniption.
Mommy.
Y'all are done.
All three of them.
Load it in. Yes, the 3 titties.
It's a wonder Reed ain't scratching at the door.
No,
He will be in a minute. Find somewhere to sit down, Bear.
Seriously.
Come on, Bear. You're too big for
Lay
this
down.
shit.
Sorry, I just yelled into the mic. My dogs are huge pussies. Oh, Reed's in here.
Now
Now he's mad that all the
Reed
dogs
is?
are in here.
he's like, damn it was just us.
Okay, continue.
Okay, that student was excited when she found out that her dad got a hand job.
Ew.
Yeah, it was a
Like,
fuck. It
"Hi,
was a fuck
Dad."
up. It was a fuck up in the paper.
Oh.
And the girls, they meant to say, student is excited about dad getting head job.
Oh, and
But
they
they
put
put-
hand job.
Yeah,
Can you imagine being the kid that happened to? You would never live that down.
because her face is on. She's like, yeah,
Hell no.
hell to the no. And I seen this too. This is real. Cows lose their jobs after milk prices drop, guys. Come on,
What do
man.
they do with them?
I don't know. What are they going to do for a job?
No, sir.
I guess they could always go get a job for Chick-fil-A as models.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
more
Only the
chicken.
black and white ones, though.
Jesco Brown.
It'd have to be dairy cows. Well, we was excited about no kids. We forgot we got dogs.
Yeah, the dogs still count. We've got a puppy, and all the other dogs are older, and of course,
They're
nobody
like,
likes
leave
a
me
young fella."
alone. Well, I would hate to be this doctor. Said his miracle cure has killed the 5th patient.
No. Oops.
Yeah. I think something's wrong, but I'm almost there.
I'm so close.
Sorry, Reed. Oh, God, fine. Jesus. Anyways.
Sorry, I'm trying to make eye contact with the dogs.
Joe. Stop it. Right here it says breathing oxygen linked to staying alive longer.
Are you fucking kidding me?
These are real headlines.
And
I'm
you
not
know what's
lying.
crazy is this is like some of the shit I feel like I would see some people share on my Facebook.
Yeah,
and
there's
be like, can you
there's
believe this?
there's experiments like this 5th one, and shit the government pays for. I mean, come on. Think of some of the studies they do when they come out with, whose French fries taste the best or shit like that. The government pays for it.
Stupid.
They should just pay me. I can freaking eat French fries and
Right.
get fat. I do that for free.
Yeah, the quarantine 15 has hit me fucking hard.
Right in the dick. Well, I'm done with the retard news.
I hate the R word. The weird news.
Yes, the weird
Yeah.
news. I
Oh.
shouldn't say that in today's society. I'm sorry if I made anybody upset. Didn't mean to say
That's
that.
so sweet of you to apologize.
Reed.
It's okay.
God
Reed's mad
damn,
'cause
I
you said
swear
that
all
word.
these dogs are in a pissed off mood.
Yeah, and it's like they could feel that we were excited that we had no kids.
And they're like, "Hey,
distractions,"
guys.
And they're like, hey, they all got together and was like, you want to go fuck it up?
Let's fuck it up.
Assholes.
Shit. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and finish mine.
You finish up. This is the end
Yeah, I'm
of
kinda-
the third episode
I'm kinda-
of Cowboy Mafia.
I'm kind of burnt out.
It happens. It's all right.
I'm burnt out on these fellers. Because that's real. Oh, and I didn't know this either till we get in the story. But I don't know, you won't remember. But people that are my age and older, remember the Marlboro Man
Oh, yeah.
in the 80s? The model? Well, he was part of the Cowboy Mafia.
What?
Yeah.
He just got even cooler.
Yeah. So now that makes me wonder if that
Good job,
ranch
Marvel.
house,
You knew what you were doing.
if that ranch house was the Marlboro Man's or something. That's the
Could've
only
been.
thing that keeps me interested is I'm trying to link, but it don't really say. There's so many players in the game that had,
Yeah, that's
because they was
true.
making a fuck ton of money, a shit ton of money. So they was blowing it on, mansions and hookers. Excuse me. I almost read your deep thoughts for today. That would have been very interesting. Okay. In 1976, Muscles visited the old friend from his rodeo days, Willis Butler. He was driving a milk truck at the time and not making much money at all, so he was suspicious when Muscles showed up to see him, and he ain't seen him, since their rodeo days. They kind of called each other every now and then, but that was it. He was kind of shocked when he seen him with a traveler's check for $15,000 from a bank in Denton that was written out. It was a bank in Denton that Rex owned. Yeah. See, that's what leads me to believe too. He had to know something. I mean,
yeah.
Come on. I mean, back then, you had to get that okayed through people.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
that
wasn't just a...
Yeah. He said he was going down to Columbia to make his dope deal. And that's when he says he got into the smuggling business for the adventure. This is Muscles. Because that's what they thought was weird. He didn't smoke weed or anything. But he was real good at breaking the law, smuggling shit in.
Breaking the law.
He was good at horses and smuggling drugs.
Fun stuff.
Oh, gosh. And then
I'm just saying it was probably fun.
God, I bet you it was.
It was probably a good
Could you
time.
imagine putting all this together? I mean, damn.
No, hell no.
That's
fucking all over the
that's
place.
the only thing really that just draws me to this shit is the organization. They had to pull that shit together,
Well,
man.
and the difference between me and Steven is he has the potential that he could have been one of those guys, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I wasn't meant. I would have been Michelle Pfeiffer, and that's it. And Michelle Pfeiffer and Scarface, just slowly disintegrating from doing coke and watching everybody else do everything.
Yeah.
I have the brains, just not the organization. Steven has to keep me in check half the time, especially now that I'm laid off. I'll be like, man, this has been a great Monday, and he's like, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, over here, UFO, alien. Yeah, he thought that was weird, for him to have that kind of money, because in the rodeo days, he's a rodeo cowboy. He didn't have much money.
Yeah, because it's the opposite. Now they make a lot of money, but
Yeah,
back then they
didn't make
were
shit. If you
poor man's
didn't
sport.
place in the top 3 or top 5 back then, you might as well not even rodeo. Well, then after that, 2 months later, in February of 1997, Muscles was back in Texas and called up Willis and told him he needed a driver and had some errands for him to run in the Beaumont area. Willis said, hell yeah. I think he offered him $50,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can see where it would be hard to turn that down.
Oh, God. I mean, just making 5 stops, making $50,000, or doing what right here. And then when he said he would work for him, Muscles put him in a Sabine Pass with a pair of binoculars and told him to watch for the monkey. And when that boat comes in, contact the crew when it comes and to view, and they'll, do their exchange and all that. Well, the shipment got delayed, and Muscles forgot to get back to Willis and tell him. So when he went to check on Willis, Willis was still there in his car asleep. Yeah. So after that, him and Muscles rotated. Well, then Muscles went out there, and he was waiting. It was his turn, and the boat came in. I think their first shipment, showed up with a load of 30 tons of weed, man. 30 tons. That's a lot of
like
weed.
heaven to me.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like,
You slowly came out of your body a little bit.
ooh, I got so involved in that singing, I had a head rush. Anyways, he found the monkey came in, dropped their stuff off, or did the exchange. Okay, I got way ahead of myself. Okay. Willis and them rotated. He came in, 30 tons, yada, 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 yada. Okay, and he cleaned out one of the ranches that Rex owned in Fort Worth so he could smuggle the drugs and use the ranch as a dispensary, basically. That's where they would get the stuff in from the coast, drive up here in horse trailers and stuff, drop it off at its ranch. Then they would divide it up and start distributing it. And Willis, he drove the weed to the ranch. That was his job. Carlos, his buddy, from Florida, from St. Petersburg, he handled the books and was in charge of all the distributing and stuff. And see, that's what gets criminals. But I understand why they have it. Because if I was messing with that much money, I would want to know where.
To try to keep track of it
somehow. I mean, I understand why they do it, but that's what always gets them. And Carlos and Jimmy Ray were they all spent the night one night at Muscle's place at Rex's guest house. That's where Muscles lived. Well, oh yeah, and the Marlboro Man was with them too. They lasted about 3 years, because that's kind of like after their first deal, they went to Rex's house and celebrated. Oh, and I forgot too, that's when some of these guys were like asking Rex if there's some property around Texas, and they started buying up property around Texas. That's why I'm like,
you wonder how much of it was theirs.
Yeah, and I wonder, I'm still trying to want to tie that. I will see how I can. That house is tied.
It's
you know what I mean?
Dude.
It's got to be. Every time I find out, I get closer with something. Because this guy was asking when they first made their dope deal, because they got to spend their money. I mean, they can distribute it, clean it through your company, but you're going to do so much of that. So he was buying chunks of property in Texas, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? See, every time I get closer.
I love Texas.
Closer. But anyways, yeah. They lasted for about 3 years, and it took about 9 days to get to Colombia. And shit,
Damn.
That's a lot of trips. That's just to Colombia, and that's not counting coming back. So that's 18 hours. Or wait, no. Did I say, yeah, that's 18 days.
That's ridiculous.
On a boat. So you're gone for almost 2 months.
Fuck that.
All for 30 tons of weed, but the payoffs like money, 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 money.
I love you.
It's the truth.
Mm.
And then Muscles, he ran off. That's about 3 years.
Olivia.
But they was making that trip pretty much every time they'd bring a load in. They was pretty much going back. So they was bringing in 30 tons or more every fucking trip. So you figure within a year's time, man, he was fucking hauling some weed.
That's really impressive as well.
Exactly. Anyways, Muscles fled to Bolivian, and he got brought back to America. His bond was set for $1 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot for them.
But he got off of the whole thing. When they brought him back and he got back to Dallas, somehow he made him think he wasn't insane enough to do trial or whatever. What do they call that?
Oh.
I want to guess say plead insanity or something like that.
You plead
Basically,
insanity, you're not able to withstand trial like your brain can.
Yeah, because it was just so say that he was the brains behind the operation. No one really knew for sure, but somehow he got off, and I just don't see how that motherfucker masterminded everything.
But money also helps too.
Yeah, but that guy Rex had more money than him.
That's true.
And more pull.
That's true.
A lot more. I didn't know, but Rex was a freaking...
I guess it's who likes you too.
Yeah.
Maybe they like that guy more.
I guess. But it was crazy because he walked out at the end of the trial. I was reading, and he really played the dumb role because when he got up and they read it, he said, "You got anything to say?" When they said not guilty, he said, "Yeah, can I go over there and give my sister a hug and a kiss?" And he said, "Come here, son. Do you not understand what this means?" You're a free man. You can go.
Like he thought he was still...
Yeah.
Aw, that's kind of sad.
And he said, go. And supposedly, when he got into the car of whoever picked him up, he just kind of sat back and grinned when they said, "How in the fuck did you get out of that?"
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. But basically,
Could be that he's a little...
Well, that's what they said. He just got mixed up with the wrong people and was kind of not there in the head, but that motherfucker was organized. There's so much stuff I read about him. It's something like one place started getting watched, so within 2 days he found another place for them to unload hidden, even better.
That's really smart though, because that's where people usually get popped.
Yeah,
So to keep an eye on it and catch it that early,
yeah.
because they have to monitor you for so many days.
Oh God,
so.
yeah. Oh, Reed, come on. I know you don't
So
want to
many
get down.
kids, so many animals,
I know.
but we love them.
Yeah, you little shit asses. All right there, Mrs. Dillinger.
Hey,
I'm very excited because
he
its
was
whole
really handsome.
its whole podcast has been nice and smooth. We've both been because nobody's loud. It's like Lexi said. It's not. Hi, welcome to. And the other person's
for
like,
real.
hey, how you doing?
We apologize for that, but we're really
Yes.
excited that we got it going now.
And thank you guys for holding on. I hope y'all enjoy the music that we put in there.
And I'm definitely letting everybody know whenever I upload these that these are the ones that are 100% fixed. We are going to eventually try to go back and re-upload all of them, but we'll not take it personally if you just start listening to the newer ones because it sounds better.
Yeah, we won't get mad.
Because I went back and listened, and it is really hard to hear me most of the time, and then whenever we switched it, it was the other way around.
It just was pissing me off. But, oh, no. I knew there was some way to stick all my files in one
and
deal.
we did it.
Yes. Come on, baby, do the conga.
Come on, buddy, do the conga.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't. I can't even say it once.
You better say it right fucking
Come on,
now.
baby, do the conga.
3 times fast.
Come on, baby, do the conga. Come on, baby, do the conga.
Come on, baby, do the conga. Come on, baby, do the. Sorry
Uh,
about that. My bad.
As you know, we want to cover like all kinds of shit on here, but we hopped on the mob stuff first because, in general, whether it's
Well, you know, it's like Bill Clinton says. Yeah, ladies, how you doing?
Oh my god! Hey, I know you ladies saw that picture of him. He looked mighty sexy in his outfit.
Y'all like that? I've been tanning
And
and
that's
working
real,
out on
ladies.
my legs. I
That
hope
is
y'all
100% real.
noticed my definition and my big calf muscles. Yes.
I gotta post the picture of you in your chicken leg socks.
Oh God, I love them socks.
But yeah,
It's
no.
just been too
so
hot.
in general, like
See,
we
if it would have
watch-
been cold, I could have worn my chicken socks. But it was too hot.
Oh, we're totally gonna do an October photo shoot.
Oh yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Lord.
But no, we both watch all the mob movies.
Oh God,
and
we're
they
big
recently-
fans.
They recently put, and it was funny because right around the time we started covering this shit, Netflix put Lawless and Public Enemies on Netflix. That sounded really stupid, but you know what I'm talking about.
Fucking assholes.
So Public Enemies is what started the Dillinger thing. I got it all wrapped up in today's episode. It's going to be kind of long. I'm going to start in a minute, and then we'll do
Oh,
our...
you'll start when we say.
We'll do our special episode 13, and then we'll let you guys know what we decide to cover next. If the movie Lawless was also based on a true story, which it might have been, I would like to cover it as well, but it was about bootleggers. They did not do anything else but bootlegging. They were not like Dixie Mafia, like murder for hire shit. But again, I don't know if that was for Hollywood or whatever. So,
Oh, I wanted to show you something really quick.
I wish
before
y'all
you
could
get
see
too
these
started.
pictures of the laptop. I'm looking at them right now, and honestly,
But
he's the
remember when
most
I told you that
handsome gangster I've ever seen.
we was doing the oh, it ain't there. The Hollywood story. I want to show you that chick real quick. I think when you was younger, if you could have curled your hair, you would look just like her.
Oh.
Oh, give me a minute. I'll go to tap so fast. Give me my good hand.
Oh, are you talking about the one that you and Lex were researching?
Yes, she looks like you.
That's weird.
Look.
Especially whenever I was like 120 pounds.
Yes. I'll find a better
Creepy.
picture of her.
No, I mean, I can see it.
Yeah.
What if we're related?
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Would explain a lot.
Yes. That's the same page. Well, you keep reading, and then when I say, hey, I found her. Because there's one she's beautiful. And then we'll go back to Sexy John Dillinger.
For real. I'm sorry if my boyfriend's listening to this, but he was a super, like, even though he was a criminal, he always looked like super clean, but not over the top flashy. Just enough where it was like oh wow. Like a personal, I don't know. That's weird. I'm related to the Hollywood ghost, guys.
Oh, just wait till I find some more. I mean, I'm not lying. Dillinger was cool. I'd do him.
All right. Here we go.
And see what I kind of liked about the guys like that back in that era. Like him, Machine Gun Chick. Machine Gun Kelly, and some other lone guys. That's what I liked about them more because they weren't really part of an organization. They just had their little clique with 4 or 5 guys, and that was it.
Yeah, that was the guys you stuck with.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
John Herbert Dillinger, born June 22nd, 1903 in Indianapolis, Indiana. I know I told you this all last week, but just briefly, he didn't live the most luxurious and heartwarming childhood. As I said before, his mother passed away the age before he turned 4, dying of a stroke, and his father was left to take care of him and his sister. He was the younger of the 2 children, and it took no time before John was in trouble with his mother gone and his father having a strict household. So I also found this piece that I didn't mention last time, and again, this is another one of those supposed things, but I guess before his, remember last week I told you that his first big thing he got in trouble for was stealing that car to impress that girl.
Oh, yeah.
I guess whenever he was younger, he became the lead of a little kid neighborhood gang who stole coal from the Pennsylvania Railroad and sold it to people around his neighborhood.
That's funny.
Eventually, some of the housewives he sold coal to ratted him out, and he got a talking to from a local judge.
Oh,
but I'm
my
not,
God.
like I said, not entirely sure how true that statement is.
Makes you go, huh?
Then, as discussed, he was arrested in 23 for boosting a car in Mooresville, and then runs off, joins the Navy, eventually goes AWOL. Blah, blah, blah. So, flash forward to now, he is 20. He's back in Mooresville. He's bouncing around from job to job and woman to woman.
Woman to
His
woman.
father has become a member of the local clergy, and the family was getting fairly well known around town. Now, before the infamous love story that Hollywood has romanticized between him and Billy Frechette, a.k.a. Blackbird, Dillinger actually did attempt to settle down and live a normal life after meeting 16-year-old Beryl Hovius. I hope I said that right.
That's a sexy
They
name
became
right
attached
there.
pretty fast, and they married on April 12th, 1974. I mean, 24.
I was fixing to say, what?
Time hop. Unemployed and no way to make income in any way that he was used to, they moved into John Dillinger Sr.'s farmhouse in a little bitty room. But within weeks of the wedding, Dillinger was arrested for stealing chickens.
God dang.
Yeah.
I was hungry. I just wanted some chicken, officer.
Well, and you got to think, too, I mean, it's hard for guys like that to, I'm going to go work a regular job making shit money.
I'm going to go buy me some
16
chicken
hours
the
a day.
right way.
So his father did keep him out of trouble in this instance, but it only further exasperated the dwindling relationship between the two of them. So Dillinger and Beryl moved out of their little tiny bedroom in his dad's house and into her parents' home in Martinsville, Indiana. He got a job in an upholstery shop, but despite appearances, Dillinger had not changed his ways. He basically
Bad boy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
He didn't get loved enough.
He was a bad boy, and eventually, whenever he realized he couldn't make money without being a criminal, he was like, It's weird. I'm the Hollywood ghost, guys.
Her name is Peggy.
Oh,
I'm telling
God.
you, right, that's what got me right there.
I'm going to have to redo that picture.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, no, you're good.
That's crazy. Hee hee. See, and John Dillinger even had that smirk like, yeah, motherfucker, you.
Damn it.
Damn it. What'd you do, Ashley? This is your story. I am done with mine. I have closed the book and walked away.
So now Dillinger is married and he's attempting to be all
Excellent.
normal and shit. He meets his first partner in crime in 1924 while he is playing shortstop on the Martinsville baseball team.
Short. Wow.
Yeah, he was actually a very interesting fellow. He knew how to do all kinds of shit, not just crime. Yeah, he was good at baseball. That's what he did in prison, too. Baseball was actually a huge hobby and love of his. That's where he met Edgar Singleton, who was a heavy drinking man and happened to be a distant relative of Dillinger's stepmom. He also held a very like-mindedness to Dillinger, however you would want to say that, you know. They were the same as far as weren't scared to, you know, get their fingers dirty, their hands dirty. Singleton actually went on to become Dillinger's first partner in crime. I feel really weird doing this by myself. He went and got coffee, guys, and I feel so alone. Ooh, I'm so alone. Actually, I'm just kidding. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs in here. Anyways, so Singleton goes on to become Dillinger's first partner in crime. He informed Dillinger of a local grocer who would carry his daily receipts and all his money on the way from work to the barbershop. Basically, was an easy target for their first, you know, romantic crime together. The incident didn't go well, though, and Dillinger was armed with a .32 caliber pistol and a large ball wrapped in a handkerchief. He came up behind the grocer and grabbed Dillinger. God bless America. I'm so sorry, guys. I have got the worst set of eyes you've ever seen. Dillinger came up behind the grocer and clubbed him over the head with the bolt. But the grocer turned and grabbed Dillinger and his gun, forcing it to discharge. Now, Dillinger thought that he had shot him, so he just took off running down the street and hopped into Singleton's getaway car. There was no one there, and he was soon caught by the police. So, I don't know what happened to Singleton, but obviously did not make it to what he was supposed to be doing. Thus, Dillinger got caught for the first time. Well, really caught. I mean, big trouble this time. The local prosecutor convinced Dillinger's father that if his son pleaded guilty, the court would be lenient. He actually did end up talking him into confessing, pleading guilty, and asking for leniency. However, that was the extent of his legal assistance, and Dillinger appeared in court without a lawyer and without his father. The court threw the book at him, 10 to 20 years in prison, even though it was his first conviction and all that, blah, blah, blah. Singleton actually also got caught, and even though he had a prison record, he served less than 2 years of his 4-year sentence, thanks to having a lawyer and money. So, if that, as we discussed before, if that doesn't tell you that a little bit of money can't, get you out of trouble, I don't know what does. It's okay. People still love us, I think, despite us not completely having... I mean, we get better every episode.
Yes,
but
it's getting better. Watch out, Bear. Come on. Get out. Bear.
So...
Bear, move, please. Thank you. Sweet young thing.
There was even an Indiana governor who commented on the harsh sentencing that Dillinger received in this case. Quoting, the judge and the prosecutor took him out and assured him if he would tell certain things, they would have let him off with a lighter sentence. They didn't keep their word. They gave Dillinger 10 to 20 years, while his partner in crime, Edgar Singleton, got 2 to 14 years and was released at the end of 2 years.
They just did that because he was so popular.
Yeah. John wasn't even popular yet. This was his first big pop. This is what landed him in prison. Yeah. That's what you missed.
Sorry.
It's okay. But the governor basically said the justice system made a lifetime criminal out of John Dillinger. Dillinger actually wrote his father years later, and again, I don't know how true this is, but this one I did find on History Channel. It said, quote, "I know I've been a big disappointment to you, but I guess I did too much time for where I went in a carefree boy. I came out bitter towards everything in general. If I had gotten off more leniently when I made my first mistake, this would never have happened," end quote. So there was a little regret in there. So he gets sentenced 10 to 20 years. And to add insult to injury, his first prison physical included a diagnosis of gonorrhea.
Lovely.
But as I discussed in last week's episode, he was a fan of the prostitutes.
Yeah, well,
which doesn't make any sense to me because he was a good-looking guy.
See, that's what I don't get.
And they said he
either.
had a personality, so like, why you got to pay chicks to have sex with you?
I know. Well, that's just like Capone. That's what got him.
Hookers?
Yeah.
Why would he need to
I
pay
don't
a
know.
woman to have sex with him?
Exactly. That's what he died of. He did his prison time in Alcatraz. He got out because he had syphilis or something, and he started getting dementia. And that motherfucker died.
Well, actually, syphilis can kill you. It's actually killed a lot of people.
That's what I heard. I mean, that's what they said, and it was syphilis. And I'm like, dude, you're a big-time gangster. Why you got to go to a
Maybe
whorehouse?
it's the idea of it.
But I guess that's the thing, what the guys with money even
Maybe
still
they just
do.
like whores.
They just go spend all the money
You
at
know,
the
the whores.
whorehouse. You know what I
Everybody
mean?
loves a good
Oh, my
whore.
God. I seen a scene from The Sopranos. It was a GIF. And, you know, I can't remember which gangster it was. But one of his prostitutes was coming up saying, "Oh, hi, Daddy. It's been a good night tonight." She went to kiss his cheek, and he's like, whoa. I don't know how many dicks them licks have sucked.
It's
I'm
true,
like,
though.
wow.
Very true.
It just made me think about that.
So, he's got the gonorrhea. He's pissed off at the world. His friends are out. He was sent to the Indiana State Reformatory.
Yes.
Is that I guess that's the same thing as a prison in
Yes.
Pendleton.
It's basically a prison. They just
Okay.
call them that to be fancy.
He spent his prison years playing on the baseball team, working the shirt factory as a seamster, and eventually made his way to the machine shop. He frequently completed twice his quota in his prison factory, and he was even nice enough to secretly help the slow guys fill their quotas as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they always said he was like a
He was
Robin
very
Hood.
likable.
like a Robin Hood kind of thief, you know.
Yeah. This also made it really easy for him to make many friends in the prison population because he was kind, but, also intelligent and was a criminal. It was actually at this state reformatory that he met, now excuse me if I don't say these names right, but Harry Pierpont
Harry Potter?
and Homer Van Meter, the two men that would someday be basically part of the John Dillinger gang.
Look at him with the cops, man. Look, when he got arrested that one time when
he smiled like a motherfucker.
Yes, all the cops wanted to take pictures with him, and they're like, he's a fucking criminal.
Well,
like,
there's
I
a
don't
part
care.
in Public Enemies, and I looked up to make sure it was right. He went into the police station like 3 times. Even said hi to a few of the cops with a smile on his face. They never even realized who it was.
Yeah.
Public enemy number 1. So yeah, like I said, very humble, very nice guy, which got him pretty far in prison. Instead of acting like a loudmouth, he minded his manners and was actually smart. He picked the brains of several notable criminals, including his soon-to-be accomplices, Harry Pierpont and Homer Van Meter, as well as Charles Mackley and Russell Clark. For the first few years of his sentence, his wife did visit him, but eventually she wasn't doing well with the separation and obtained a divorce in 1929, 2 days before his birthday. He was devastated and later admitted the event had broken his heart, which I'm sure she enjoyed the gonorrhea, but
Oh yeah, I bet you she's like
he was so heartbroken.
he was a very loving man. He gave me the best gonorrhea I ever had.
She's just crying.
While she's scratching her
John.
cooch. I miss him. Not a day goes by I don't itch about him.
Oh God. So
Sorry.
no, you're good. Life's pretty shitty right now. He's down in the dumps. He's sad. His wife divorced him. He was then dealt with a second blow when he was denied parole. He had not exactly been an exemplary prisoner because he did try to escape a few times, but
Other than that, he was all right. You know, he just escaped a couple times.
so this added, of course, to his bitterness and
Jeez.
angriness. In a letter he wrote to his father, oh, I already told you guys that. Sorry. He actually got so depressed, he actually eventually quit the baseball team, one of his few passions, and he asked to be sent to Indiana State Prison in Michigan City. He told them it was because they had a better baseball team, but the truth was his friends Pierpont and Van Meter had been transferred there earlier, and those were his two main guys. So he did actually end up getting transferred over there.
Gas pumps.
I know. But after he got there, he became depressed and withdrawn. He never even joined the baseball team, but just buried his work in the prison shirt factory again and spent all his extra time learning the ropes of robbing banks by all the guys who had been in there for robbing banks.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I did remember them saying about him is that
He's
the
so
U.S.
smart.
government, like that guy said, made him a criminal.
Yeah.
You stick a young kid in there with all these criminal minds, and they're like, well, let me see how they did it, but not do what they did.
Absolutely. So remember, he wanted to go there for Pierpont and Van Meter, but he actually ended up becoming friends with Walter Dietrich, who had worked with the notorious Herman Lamb. Now, I'd never heard of this guy, but apparently he's a former German army officer who had immigrated to the United States in the late 1800s. He was famous for planning his bank robberies with, he would use the precision of military tactics.
Yeah.
So Dietrich had studied the man's method well, and he was obviously a good teacher. So he helped instruct Dillinger on how to investigate the layout of a bank, the entries and the exits, the windows, and the location of the nearest police station. That's where he learned that shit from. Unfortunately, Pierpont and Van Meter had longer sentences than John, but with the younger, skilled version of themselves that they had been training, they didn't plan on staying in there.
Yeah, there was like,
They actually brought Dillinger in on their scream on their scheme of a prison escape,
Scream.
and they gave him a crash course in the art of robbery. They even gave him a list of stores and banks to hold up and contact information of
that's one of the
other
times
reliable
I thought.
criminals.
And look, I mean, all
I
the
love
cops are like,
him.
even his wives are coming in to take pictures with him, man. He was
I love him.
he was like one of the first like big time rock star kind of criminals. Well, I mean, you had Capone, but he was like more of somebody like me.
Yeah, and
know.
even though there are lots of part of the movie that is bullshit, if you watch Public Enemies, like Johnny Depp did a fucking amazing job playing him.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, anyways, he's getting with these guys about a prison escape, and basically their idea was you're going to rob as many banks as you can whenever you get out to save up the money to buy the shit that we need to break out of prison, and then we're all going to rob banks together. That's how the Dillinger Gang was created.
Holy
Luckily, they
smokes.
caught a break in the early 1930s because the Great Depression stretched the Indiana state penal system completely thin. Funding cuts were exacerbated, and the prison population doubled because people had lost everything and were out there stealing and pilfering out of desperation, which is really sad and fucked
Yeah.
up. But it was making the prison system just double up
Well,
in
yeah,
numbers.
especially when times are hard like that. It's like Dusty Rhodes says, hard times. Hard times. That's when you work 30 years in a mill and they slap you on the back and give you a watch and say thanks for your work and a robot replace your job. That's hard times.
That was beautiful.
The American dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. The #1 superstar in the world today. The son of a plumber.
Wait till we get to that part. You see
Oh,
that
God,
fake gun?
yes. That's so fucking
that
hilarious.
was
and it
real.
worked.
He actually was smart about his parole, and he reached out to his sister and asked that her and Dillinger Sr. help him plead his case for an early release. So they circulated a petition that actually got 188 signatures. And on May 10th, 1933, with the blessing of Governor McNutt.
McNutt.
God damn it. I hated saying that.
You just gotta
It is
sneak that
literally
motherfucker in there,
capital
wasn't you?
M, little c, capital N-U-T-T.
I
McNutt.
couldn't have been in that court. All rise for Judge McNutt.
He was 29 years old whenever he finally got paroled.
What?
He was 29 years old when he
Oh,
finally
I
got
thought you
paroled.
said 21. I was like, where
No.
did he fucking go?
You were like, I thought he spent 9 years in prison.
I know. I was like,
Time machine. So he basically seized the moment of the Depression and joined up with a few Pierpont's men, as I discussed, to start
Yeah.
the string of robberies so that they could get their buddies out. They robbed the new Carlisle National Bank in Ohio and got $10,000 out of that. One in Bluffton, Ohio, that they got $2,000 from.
and see, that's a lot back then, especially that one for 10 grand. I mean,
Yeah, I should have wrote down. They said what it equaled to in that time period, and it was a lot.
yeah.
So over time, it didn't take long. They already had the money in hand for the prison escape. And with the aid of 2 female accomplices, Pearl Elliott, Mary Kinder, which I could never find anything that brought them up again. So I guess aside from this point, they're irrelevant. They all arranged for several guns to be packed in a box of thread and smuggled into the shirt factory for Pierpont and Von Mita.
Van Meter and McNutt.
Yeah, God.
Wow, where the fuck?
So
man,
they have
that's Ohio.
now. Listen to this shit. This sucks. The prison break was set for September 27th. September 22nd, just a couple weeks after stealing more than $21,000 from a bank in his hometown in Indianapolis, he was arrested by Dayton, Ohio police. But Pierpont and Van Mita still escaped from the Indiana State
you
Prison.
no catch Van Meter.
They didn't. They
No,
still escaped.
no.
Still escaped. And they went to the gang's hideout, which I guess at the time was in Hamilton, Ohio. Dillinger was incarcerated at the Lima, Ohio jail, just a liver. God
Just
damn.
a liver down the road to the right of the state. That's where it's gonna be, okay? Somebody say something about steak.
Well, it was only about 100 miles away from Pierpont's hideout, so to return the favor of Dillinger helping them escape, even though he was locked up, he raised all the money and put it together and stuff. They returned the favor and came back to Lima, Ohio jail on October 12th. They disguised themselves as Indiana State police officers. They told the sheriff that they were there to return Dillinger to an Indiana penitentiary for violating his parole. When the prison guard asked for their credentials, they showed him their guns. Basically, was like, bam.
Yeah, see, here's my ID, copper. It's a 45.
Now, one of
Yeah,
them,
see?
with the last name Sarber, he did reach for his gun, and Pierpont panicked and shot him twice. Mrs. Sarber gave them the jail keys, and they sprang Dillinger out and hauled ass. Sarber ended up dying a few hours later. So this made all the members of the gang accessories to murder. Just slowly upping their ante.
Open that Annie.
Once he was free, they headed to Chicago to put together one of the most organized and deadly bank robbing gangs in the country, and thus the Dillinger Gang was born. Unfortunately, though, by crossing a state border while fleeing a crime, The Dillinger gang had committed an interstate offense, plus the death of... Oh, he was the sheriff, actually, sorry. Plus the death of the sheriff and the prison break, it drew the attention of FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover.
Will you Google him
Fuck
for
that
me
guy.
and tell me about him?
J. Edgar Hoover?
Yeah.
You don't know about him?
No, I don't
He
know
was
who
the
that
head of the
is.
FBI back then.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I'll show you
I
his
didn't have
picture and
time
everything.
to add him in here.
He was another little cocksucker, too, that, you know, was...
Tell us how you really feel.
He was another little
Fuck you,
fucking
Hoover.
cocksucker. Hey, what, AJ, was it Hoover?
Edgar.
Edgar. Yeah. How do you spell the Edgar?
Edgar.
Hoover. Yeah, I can't believe you never heard of him.
No, I actually did
He's
not.
giving your family, the Buthianos, hell. Always wanting to fucking beat our ass. Yeah, that's the little cocksucker right here. See? J. Edgar fucking Hoover. And then after he got, yeah, that's his old ass.
Ew.
Yeah.
He looks like a bag of tan skin, and his
Yeah,
chin
he's
looks like a ball sack.
He's a fucking douchebag.
Fuck you, Hoover. No, for real, though. Was he really a piece of shit?
He's just a dickhead like all of the freaking
Yeah.
politics guys.
I'm just talking shit because I like to talk
After he
shit.
fucking went after Dillinger and got people like that, then he started focusing his attention back on fucking the mob. That's one good thing about when
Oh,
Dillinger
okay.
and them guys were running around the country. It took some of the heat off the mob because everybody was trying to catch them.
Yeah, I'll get to... I'm literally almost there. Like, they got popular as fuck.
Yeah. All because of me.
The newspapers would write sensational stories of their exploits. Gang
Yes.
members were often described as shadowy figures wearing
Kinda like,
dark overcoats and their hats pulled down.
Remember on God damn it, the movie about Billy the Kid? That's how they all wrote about him in the books and them.
Didn't Leonardo DiCaprio play Billy the Kid?
No, it was God dang it, Emilio Estevez.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm thinking of the other one that Leo's a young guy in, and he ends
Yeah.
up dying in a gunfight, but I don't remember the name of that one.
I don't remember.
It was
either.
popular.
But yeah, he that's kind of like the same shit.
It's fucking crazy.
Billy, yeah, he up north. They called him the Prince of Pistolones.
Pistolones.
Well, back then they had these novelty books, kind of like comics, but they wrote about all the gunslingers from the West. So that's how they all got their names.
When they weren't busy robbing banks, the gang was actually pretty quiet and conservative. They lived in an expensive
ocean.
No, expenso.
Oh, Spenso. I live in an expenso.
They lived in an expensive Chicago apartment. They dressed like any other respectable businessman, and they weren't really into drawing a lot of attention to themselves. Like I said, they were pretty humble guys.
See, that's the
They
key
looked
right
good, but
there
they
of
weren't flashy.
making it in the criminal industry
Yeah.
is not being flashy and flashing.
Here's
your
what
shit
else I
around.
thought was really cool. Pierpoint had a strict rule that planning and committing a crime had to be done with zero alcohol and drugs. They only drank whenever they were off
Well,
the
that's
job.
good.
And that included planning too.
Oh, yeah.
For the next 3 months, they went on a crime spree, hit up several bank robberies in Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. These are the ones that started getting them, popular. They often had a theatrical flair. One time, they posed as alarm sales reps to get into the bank's vault and have access to the security system.
What a bunch of
And it
retards.
worked.
Well, back
Another
then,
time-
man, you could get away with so much shit.
This is my favorite one. Another time, they pretended to be a film crew scouting location for a bank robbery movie.
Oh, my God.
And they actually got away with it.
Man, I can't believe how they cut their hair back then.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, that's how the guys back then wore it. I don't
He's
know
the
why.
only one that I've seen that it looked handsome on him.
Yeah.
Everybody else, it makes him look
Yeah, 'cause
gross.
see, he could do it decently.
Oh, he was such a fine man right
Look.
there.
I lost my gun.
I have gonorrhea. Hey, that's the picture of him whenever he found out he had gonorrhea.
Well, I'm fucked. No, what? That looks like Jared when he gets mad.
Back to the Robin Hood thing, too. Yeah, it does. I actually found a story about a farmer who had come into the bank to make a deposit while the gang was robbing the place. standing at the teller window with his money in front of him. Dillinger straight up asked him. He said, "Is this money yours or is it the bank's?" And the farmer answered, "It's my money, and I'm here to deposit it." And he was like, "Get out of here, keep it. We only want the bank's money."
Yeah. Sorry about that. I
Oh,
thought
you're
the
good.
volume was off. Man.
So, as most working folk, the gang took a break and spent the holidays in Florida. Yeah.
And see, back then, Florida wasn't that populated.
Oh, and I bet it was
In
beautiful.
the 20s and the 30s and the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it was beautiful. I bet it was a good hideout spot. I
Oh,
mean, it
God.
still is pretty, but there's a lot of people
Yeah.
in Florida. Shortly after New Year's, they decided their break was up, and they decided they were going to head for Arizona. Police were looking all over them.
Yeah.
I would have loved to be the female cop, which that wouldn't have. Damn it. Never mind.
What?
There was no female cops
Oh, yeah.
in that time period. I was about to say I would have loved to be the female cop that gave him the strip search, but
Yeah, you didn't
crushed
even
my
think
fucking
that.
dreams.
Only thing they got to do was be a secretary. See, I would have loved to live back in the 50s.
I can do that because I was one.
But I just don't want to live in the aspect of when it was so racist and just so.
I couldn't handle that.
You know what I mean?
I don't like
Because
that.
back then, women
All
stayed
humans are the
home.
same to me.
Yeah,
Man or
women
woman,
didn't.
black or white.
Women didn't go to work. They stayed home, took care of their kids. Guys worked. They
Got
to
beat
do
up
it-
and cheated on.
Exactly. They'd come home. They expect your dinner should have been done. They should have been
Oh,
cleaning all day. And
I heard there's a woman that I know. I'm not going to say any names. She's an older lady and lived in that time period,
she lives in a shoe.
She told me about once a week, her husband would literally walk through the living room, not say anything to her, make eye contact as he ran his finger as slow as he possibly could over everything in the living room, and if there was any dust on it.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know how to clean,
Yeah.
bitch? Well, it's just like
It's
on
not
that-
funny, but it's how it
yeah.
was.
Well, it's like that movie Mississippi Burning when that sheriff's trying
I've
to
never
tell the
seen
other
it.
one.
It's on my list.
He's telling him, you need to go home and take care of because his wife.
Yeah, he's
told
saying
him what
beat the
happened.
shit out of your wife and tell her to
Basically,
shut
he goes-
up.
And he stops and he goes, no, you need to go home and take care of this. Him and 3 other officers went with him, and they sit there and watched while he beat the
Yeah.
shit out
Well,
of her. That's
I don't
uncalled
even.
for.
I'll have to look into this, but for the longest time there were plenty of counties that had the law that it was not illegal to beat your wife as long as the stick was no bigger than your thumb.
Yeah.
That was a legit thing.
Yeah.
I'd kill a motherfucker.
I can. It's the law.
All right, so they're taking their break. Now they're done. They're headed for Arizona. You got to think at the time the police are looking everywhere for them. So they decided to keep a low profile. On his way out west, Dillinger collected his new girlfriend, Billy Frechette, and one of his other gang members, Red Hamilton. He and Hamilton decided to rob the First National Bank at Gary, Indiana, for some quick cash to fund their trip.
Hamilton. Quick chips.
What? I wish y'all could see his face right now.
So, okay, he stopped at the big brown beaver.
Yeah, so literally they're on their way out and they're like, hey, you want to rob this bank for some quick quack? God damn it! Some quick quash?
Oh, goddamn.
Uh,
Oh, frick me running.
It went
some
pretty
quick quash.
bad. Hamilton was wounded and Dillinger killed a police officer, William Patrick O'Malley. The rest of the gang arrived in Tucson, Arizona, and were experiencing difficulties of their own. Blah, blah, blah. So,
Blah, blah, blah. Quackity quack.
Yeah,
Don't look back. Man, look at the
Now, he
reward
did-
for him back in the day.
oh, yeah.
Dude,
$10,000.
$10,000.
Just for him.
$5,000 for information, $10,000 if they arrest him.
Yeah. He did get popped for this, and while awaiting trial, he was placed in Crown Point Prison. Now, authorities were very proud to say that this facility was deemed inescapable. On March 3rd, 1934, Dillinger proved them wrong by slipping out. Sorry, we're experiencing paranormal activity during this podcast.
Okay.
For real though.
That was weird. Okay. How are you doing tonight, everybody?
This is the prison juror. God damn it. What is wrong with me?
Quackity quack. This is the prison juror. Oh, my man. What?
Like they're heading back to the house, and I locked the door.
Oh, God. What? Here, I'll go and lock it.
Okay. Please, and thank you.
Sorry, Larry.
Thank y'all for sticking through this podcast, which means that the dogs are about to fucking bark, and I've still got quite a bit to go over. So, anyways, he escaped from prison. This was the super popular story where he did, I've seen pictures of it, he carved a wooden gun, blackened it with shoe polish, and used it to escape. Once he arrived back in Chicago, he quickly put together and carelessly put together a new little band of misfits and psychopaths.
Go. Go.
He won't. He won't bark though. This new gang composed of several misfits, a few psychopaths, including Lester Gills, aka Babyface Nelson. Can you Google that for me? Because
Well, I was trying to go
didn't have
back.
time.
I was going to show you. There was 3 guys, I think, that used to run around with him, but the computer started doing stupid shit. Because I had all 3 of them. See? I'm not doing anything. I don't... I'll get it figured out, Ashley.
sorry. Oh, it's all good. Anyways,
Dude, you just licked me.
he teamed up with his friends from the reformatory home of Van Mita, so he comes back into play. They located to St. Paul, Minnesota. During the month of March, the new Dillinger King
Okay,
went on
here's-
crime spree in 4 states, robbing half a dozen banks.
Here's Babyface Nelson.
Evelyn Franchette, that was
Franchette.
Billy.
Pretty Boy, Floyd. Now, see, he was a cool dude. Bonnie and Clyde. Marvin Purr. I don't know about him.
Purvis, he knew Purvis as well.
And the Machine Gun Kelly was on one of these, too.
Hell yeah.
I'll have to go back and find that.
The other cool thing that I found
Is
is
me.
at the time that all this was going on, he was labeled as public enemy number 1 and had the $10,000 reward placed on his head. Apparently, God damn it.
To devoid.
We both have dyslexia,
Yeah.
and it is kicking my fucking ass
Yes,
right
it
now.
is right now. It's never been like this. Never. Usually I'm the one butchering
Yeah.
everything.
To avoid
up.
detection, he actually underwent plastic surgery. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Um,
In the ghetto.
and then pretended to be Billy Franchette's ex, his girlfriend at the time.
Oh, God.
I'm done. No, I'm
On John Gotti.
blah, 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 blah. On June 30th in 1934, he robbed his last bank. He was accompanied by Van Mita,
Van
Babyface,
Helsing.
and one other unidentified individual.
That sounded so just to that point.
As they entered the bank at the Merchants National Bank in South Bend, Indiana, Babyface Nelson fired his machine gun to get everyone's attention inside the bank, which in turn got everyone's attention outside the bank. So, of course,
And I think when they caught him, he was shot in a field running from the cops.
yeah. Oh, no. Well,
I mean, he got caught separately from John.
yeah. Well, in this one, Van Meter dies. So Dillinger and the others were exiting the bank with the hostages, and because Nelson drawed all the attention, there was a shit ton of police and citizens who were outside ready to fire at them. They did. Most of the bullets hit the hostages, unfortunately. It raged on, and the gang members tried to make it to their getaway car, and Van Mita was shot in the head as he was being dragged into the car.
Well,
And
Guess
the
he
sad
shouldn't.
thing is, do you know how much they got out of that?
probably 1,000.
Each. Now, there was only 3 of them.
Oh, shit.
John Van Meter, Nelson, and it says unidentified, so I'm not going to count that one. But they only came out with about $4,800 each, which was still a lot, but for as much as they went through, no. Now, back to Hamilton, him and Dillinger became best friends, and, they're hanging out right now, chilling, especially after that bad shit just went down. So, on July 22nd, Dillinger suggested that they go to a show at the theater just around the corner from their hideout. What he didn't know was that the lady that Hamilton was banging, Anna...
was a rat.
Yes.
A fucking
yes,
rat,
she
rat,
was.
rat.
Anna Kumpananas.
Anna Kunakama.
I don't know how to say her name. I'm so sorry. So we're going to go with Anna Sage because that was also her other name. She was a Romanian immigrant facing deportation for running a brothel. So the cops used that to their advantage and basically told her, if you help us catch Dillinger, we'll get you out of all the shit that you're going through with immigration.
Ah. That's the government for you.
So, on Sunday, July 22nd at 5 p.m., she told FBI agents that she and Dillinger were planning to go to the movies.
Have you been hitting a fucking pen?
No.
I
That
know
shit,
you
I'm
haven't.
telling you. That shit was good. She mentioned that they were either going to the Biograph or the Marlboro Theater. The agents posted outside and following the prearranged signal, which was Purvis, lit a cigar. Dillinger and the two women walked down the street. Purvis quickly pulled out his gun and yelled, "Stick 'em up, Johnny. We have you surrounded." This was in Public Enemies. This was true. The only thing that was not true was in Public Enemies, they shot him right as he came out of the movie theater. But in here it says he actually made it to the alley. And that's whenever they greeted him with gunfire. 4 bullets hit his body, 3 from the rear and 1 from the front. 2 bullets grazed his face. I saw the autopsy picture, actually.
That's what I was fixing to look
Yeah.
for. Shut up.
A third, the fatal shot entered the base of his neck and traveled upward, hitting the second vertebrae, then exiting below his right eye. His streak of crime was finally over. He literally died on his way out of a movie theater because his buddy's girlfriend ratted on him.
Yeah. Rat, rat, rat.
He was given a Christian burial on July 25th, 1934, and laid to rest in the family plot at Crown Hill Cemetery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
He's got gunned down the street. Pow, pow, pow.
So, thank you for
hanging on
riding
there.
that roller
Sorry that
coaster.
one took so long, guys.
That was a
Hey.
shit show. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. We don't like people anyway.
Well, our
but
babysitter had to
here's a
leave.
spot of the show that's really going to cheer us up. And I think we're really going to like it.
Gonna end the show with a boom.
We're going to end it. I ain't going to do dumb facts today. I'll save them for next time. But we are going to get our Ash Handy. And I know people love Ash Handy. That's how we got more listeners today because of her boyfriend saying, "Hey, Ash." And then she didn't want him to say that. And then it led to, "Oh, I have a podcast." So
I'm just gonna start embracing my wrestling name.
So I'm going to hand the clipboard over to Ashley now. It is Deep Thoughts with Ash Handy. And today's thoughts come from Curvy Mills.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Deep Thoughts with Ash Handy. I'm your co-host. Oh, actually, no, I'm the real host. Ash Handy. That's my kind of body. Everything clapping. I never grow tired of jacking off to Brett. Damn, she is thicker than stale bread. I would love to be her daddy. My mama should have joined. This guy is pathetic.
Thank you for another
No.
edition of
Thank you
Deep
to
Thoughts.
Curvy MILFs and all the weirdos who leave comments.
Yes. And like I said,
Thanks for joining us.
really don't have a whole lot of time left, so we'll do dumb facts next week. But we gotta. I would make sure they have our deep thoughts before dumb facts.
Yeah.
To end the show with that.
Check
But
out the
y'all,
Facebook page,
check
Our
us out,
Country
Facebook,
People.
Twitter,
Please.
Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, Stitcher. Our email. Send us some stuff, guys, and we'll get back to you. And we love everybody that keeps showing us love and coming on the show. But this is Steven and
Ash Handy,
saying goodbye from Borderline
Texas Trash, and Mineral Wells, Tejas.
Yeep. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, ladies.